Michael, obviously a bit of a rivalry game today. Lots of physical challenges, a bunch of yellow cards. You guys come out with the 2-0 victory. Overall thoughts on today's 3 points?
Yeah, we're really pleased. Philadelphia are a really good team in our league, and this was a real test for us. So we talked a lot before the game in terms of understanding now how to play in these kinds of games, how to make sure that we were ready for the moments of the game that were going to play out in the way they wanted, but also then being able to put the game back on our terms. So, really complete performance, and so happy and proud for sure.
Being a top of the table showdown, 1 versus 2, does that make it any sweeter that you guys were able to put a performance like this against one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big game. The spotlight comes on brighter for bigger games, and so as I said, that's a team in our league that in all ways is one of the best, and so we were excited for the challenge, and like I said, I thought to a man our group came through in a big way.
Can you talk about the a little bit of a rotation amongst the players with certain guys playing a little bit out of their normal positions and how that depth kind of helped?
Let me ask you a question. Who played out of their normal position?
Jarvis.
Jarvis, for sure. Anybody else that you have in mind? I'll touch on Jarvis.
Dennis? Yangar?
Yeah, that's a good point, too. Jarvis is a guy that we see as having a lot of potential and ability to play in some different spots. Whether it's as a 6, whether it's as an 8. Obviously, in this last period, we've needed him on some days by necessity to play as a center back. Tonight, obviously, it was a choice. We felt like, given the way Philadelphia play and now having his profile and his abilities in the center of the back would be a big help. He had an excellent game. And then, yes, I apologize, I forgot Dennis as well. Look, one of the great things about being the second team coach at a club like this is how serious and how committed the club is to the second team. And so, obviously, Dennis is not a second team player, but in this last stretch now, on different days, if he's not in the picture with the first team, then I believe this is his second game now with us, and so he came to us, had an excellent mentality to play. Obviously, with Stevie Sirwada being out injured, we needed, it was the way to get all of our best guys on the field tonight by playing him as a right back, and so he did a really good job. Again, like I said, good. Thanks for refreshing my memory. Jarvis is a guy who, again, I see as somebody who can play a lot of different spots. So that one, and lately he's played a fair amount in the center of the back. So that was why that one didn't register right away, and I completely forgot about Dennis. So thank you.
Coach, one way you dominated the game was passing accuracy today. Can you just talk about how that helped you secure the win?
Yeah, we're trying to improve the full package of our football. We want to be a team that has everything: ability to play, ability to make chances, ability to control the game with the ball, ability to play like good football. But obviously, then the part that goes with that is how can we press and be aggressive? How can we defend well? And so again, we're gonna challenge ourselves to be a team that is complete. And so I thought, especially in the first half tonight, our football was really good. Made a lot of chances, played some really good stuff, and so we were happy with that. Obviously, in the second half, now they get more desperate, and now the game becomes a little choppier and a little bit more in their image, let's say. But we dealt with all that well. So yeah, we're moving in a good direction.
Two more questions. With a handful of players just unavailable through injury or just not with the team, you had Sebastian Chavez and Benny Rodriguez in the squad today. They also make their debuts. Just what have you seen from those two academy guys, and And what are your thoughts on just them making their debut?
Yeah, look, we're going to be in the pathway in this club is important, and that's the academy to the second team to the first team. And so when we have young academy players now who do well, they're going to get chances to come into our training. And when they do well in our training, then when we think the time's right, they're going to get the chance to play. So, yeah, happy for both those guys, and, they did a good job.
Last question.
Coach, go ahead.
So, somebody that covers you too for the last 2 years. This is probably the first time you've held the season's team to under 15 shots and 1 shot on target. Defensively, what was the scouting tactically?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, when you just look at stats, they are a team that consistently 20 shots, 25 shots, probably some games close to 30. Again, it's a good team. It's a team that is clear in their idea of how they want to play. They put balls forward, they run hard, they run in the box, and so we again, I think we prepared for it in a good way. I thought tactically we were able to deal with things in good ways, but it's still then the part of just embracing that kind of game, or embracing the moments of the game that are going to play out the way they want. And so I thought we did a good job of that.
Adri, obviously you've had a bunch of run-ins with Philly over the past couple years in the academy. Physical game tonight. Would you call this one of the bigger rivalries for you guys? And do you think this could, these type of games can take this to the senior level once you guys, in the next few years?
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say playing them through all the age groups in the academy, the games are always physical, and it's always bragging rights to whoever wins the game. And it's always a good experience playing against them because, it gives you that, physical demand, to push games, just it's always high intensity, so you always just have to be alert and, be ready for the game, whatever's to come.
There's victory for you guys 2-0, 1 versus 2 in the standings. Was it that much sweeter that you beat a team as good as you guys this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say we knew this was coming, and we saw, how Philly has been doing in the league. They've won most of their games, like their past 9-10 games. And, everybody went out today and gave 120%. We started very strong, and we finished very well. So 95 minutes was really, really good from the boys, and I'm really proud of them.
Adri, one thing that stood out was your commitment to blocking shots. I think you had around 7 or 8 in this game. So just can you talk about how that played a role, certainly early on, in keeping them at bay?
No, yeah. I mean, when they're getting into our box, it's always, defend the ball first, and try not to let them get in our box. But, when they do, it's just time to, just switch on again, and just be able to block shots or, move your feet and, just don't let them get a shot at goal.
You've had a bunch of players play out of position all season. Today, you have Aiden playing at center back. You have Gengar playing at right back. You've had Stevie playing at right back this season. Just what does that tell you about the commitment for this team?
No, I mean, it's been great from everybody. Whoever's played out of position or whoever comes into games, they've done really, really well. And it just shows the versatility that we have, with our players. They can play in different positions, and, everybody's committed no matter where they play. So it's been really good again.
Good time for the questions.
Adri, you're now 7-1-2 at home. Can you just talk about just what's been going right at home?
No, I mean, it's that extra push from the fans, definitely, and the extra gear, extra push, I would say, is what we've been giving all season. And again, we're going in a really good direction, and we just got to keep going, home and away.
Can you just talk about, being a homegrown player, seeing other guys like Sebastian Chavez and Benny Rodriguez make their debuts tonight?
No, I mean, really happy for them. They've been working really hard in training, playing games with the academy, the U18s, and again, they deserve it, I think. They've been really strong, every day coming in with a smile on their face, and again, this is just the start for them, and hopefully they can do more.